I saw at that time. I think we're good to start. Hello and welcome to the IPL cast, or whatever we're gonna call it. It's a podcast based on the International Pokemon League, which is a league of 8 people, 8 coaches. I am Richard Blocker, coach of the Beach City Corefish.
I am Stephen Dick, coach of Bayern Munchlax.
I am Nihal Qatar, coach of Columbus Shrew Pokemon Club.
I am Fat Lard, or Matt to some people, and I am coach of the Cleveland Escavaliers.
I am Gerard Stoneman, and I'm the coach of the Hollywood Haluchas.
My God, you belong on a podcast. That's right, go ahead.
Yeah, 5 of us here. 5 of us here is a heavy load for our podcast, so we'll do our best to keep the conversation moving in a natural manner, and try to get everyone's words in and all that. But Nihal, your brother's the league commissioner, so.
Yes.
Talk about, since I wasn't there for the formation of the IPL, talk about what IPL is and sort of its history.
So it's actually Stephen Sahel and I were part of this website called perfectpokemon.com, and someone posted something about creating a league, a showdown league. And, we were all really excited and we were ready for the draft, and the person who created the league never showed up.
Yep.
So what ended up happening was Sahel and I and Steven too decided, let's start our own league. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll get some people involved, and it quickly became international. We had people from England. Actually, I think that's it. England and the United States.
I thought there was one dude from Australia.
We had a person
wasn't there?
from England.
Yeah, we had like 2, I think.
Mayo was like from Australia or something.
He was season 3 or 2 or 4. No, he was 3, wasn't he? 2 and 3. Anyway,
yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the International Championship of Collegiate Acapella, or ICCA, which Jared and I have been in, where it's just like so barely international that they get to use international in the name.
Right.
But
It's like the Toledo airport. They have one flight to Canada, and they call it international airport.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more international now. I'd say, from an like obscurity basis. But last year it was especially international.
Yeah,
definitely.
God, that was so annoying.
But talk about sort of IPL's ups and downs, so to speak.
Well, I think the first season went really well, actually. So we actually completed the season. Everyone was on time. People made free agency acquisitions and, battle. Well, except for Cyan. I don't know why he was
That's Dayton team's greatest team.
Yeah.
It's the only season that I was not in. So if you're looking for a common thread for like why he's not going through, it's probably me.
Well, you're usually the most dedicated, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, after season 1, which Gerard Stoneman was the champion.
That's me.
He became the champion, and then we had
only champion.
Right. We quickly decided, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Let's have a season 2 like 2 months later. And I really don't. Season 2 is a blur to me. I really have very little memory of it.
Season 2 was
all
fantastic.
I remember was getting Azumarill.
Yeah. Right. So, and then eventually people just stopped battling, and
the one who disappeared altogether.
Right. People just started disappearing. And then season 3, we added even more people for some reason, even though it didn't work out.
Yeah,
the first
it made
time.
sense.
Yeah, and we tried to restart the league, and people. I went back and looked at the records this morning. Some people had played 11 games. Some people had played 8.
You had a lot of forfeits and
a lot of forfeits. Yeah. I mean, the best thing to come out of season 3 was IPL Weekly for sure. Great video.
I respectfully disagree because I think IPL After Dark definitely takes the cake.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that one. It's close.
I mean, as far as my poor participation, I just want to say that I was losing a lot. And I think that excuses me from
that does a lot to your motivation
of the league as the reigning champion. I thought if we completed the season, I might lose my title.
Right.
So,
Jared, I want you to talk about the mistake you made when we played each other last season.
Oh my god.
What was that? Did I bring thick fat Azumarill?
You sure did.
Was that the beautiful thing
That's
that
incredible.
I did? Oh, everyone loves that fat rabbit.
On a better note for you, I don't want to just like drag you into the ground. Talk about your championship season a little bit.
My championship season.
What was your team like?
My championship season, I think I lost a couple games right at the beginning and then lost to Steven predictably. But luckily in the playoffs, Steven got knocked out by some other dude. And so I was able to climb the ranks to the top.
Kyle,
Yes,
yeah.
and never face Steven.
that one guy that
Kyle.
would just come into my favorite was the one guy.
The one guy?
The one guy that would just come in and every single match you would just go Kyle, and then that was
All
it.
I know is like I saw that the what's it called, the replay of that, and like I just saw
Fruity,
up until you
fizzy
stayed
bubbles.
Yeah.
Is it fizzy water?
Something like that.
Fizzy water.
Fizzy
yeah.
water. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Famous.
I just remember I saw you stay in against his Garchomp with Latios, and that's when you broke him. I saw it.
Yeah. It was pretty much the best thing I've ever done. That exact moment, I made a decision in the back of a car that someone else was driving because I was on a trip and I couldn't run calcs, and it was a really bad choice, and somehow it worked. And then later that night,
Sadly,
at about
though, that
3 a.m.
replay has been cut off in the middle.
Oh, well, at about 3 a.m. that night or morning, Kyle texted me and said, "Hey, why did you do that? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I beat you." And it was cool.
Yeah, you've told me about how Kyle would kind of like get mad when you like predicted a switch or something, and he would like say that your decisions were bad even though they worked out well for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
Right.
You can look at my
that's
game.
what
man.
makes it a good decision. There's a lot of yomi, as they say,
Yeah.
a lot of rock paper scissors mind games.
Yeah. He did a lot of over predicting in his time in the IPL.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
tonight we each drafted 11 Pokemon over the course of about 2 hours. Let's actually, Steven,
Yeah.
let's start with you, and then we'll go around and come back to me.
Okay.
Since I've been doing a lot of driving. So who'd you get?
All right. So I drafted in order here: Tapu Koko, Celesteela, Weevil, Mega Swampert, Pelipper, Nidoking, Kingdra, Tornadus T, Chestnut, Espeon, and Komala.
Okay, so right around the fourth pick there, things changed.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
I'm scared of this team. This team is the reason I drafted an extra grass type toward the end, because I'm not excited about all of that Swift Swim.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about like theme teams mostly. I didn't really want to draft a rain team, but after Mega Heracross was taken off the board, I needed another like big like Mega Physical Bruiser. That's what I was looking for. And Heracross is what I wanted, but I figured I'd go for Swampert, and then if Pelipper is still around, then I'd make it rain, because Pelipper is like now that it has Drizzle, it's a like crazy good rain setter.
Yeah.
It annoys me that like retroactively that worked. Like your first pick was Celesteela, and like, oh yeah, you can hit it with fire types, but except you can't because you suck, Steven.
Right.
Exactly.
So, Steven, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So you have Celesteela, Pelipper, Tornadus T.
Yeah.
So those are 3 electric type weaknesses, and obviously you have Swampert and Nidoking as well. But you also have Tapu Koko with electric terrain, which boosts electric type moves. How do you see that working out?
Putting him on blast.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. That's I was thinking about that in the draft. Like I needed a ground type or something to do with that, but I think I should be okay for the most part. I think my plan basically with that is, even though yes, Tapu Koko gives electric types the boost, and that's going to be hard for everything. But if you notice, like most of the stuff I have, like Kingdra, Tornadus T, Mega Swampert, all that stuff is like super fast in the rain. And so my hope is to be able to put enough offensive pressure so that I won't be put in a situation where that'll happen.
Knowing your battling style and just like skill and ability, I'm sure that all your stuff is going to kill stuff before it has the chance to use an electric type move.
That was astute analysis.
Anyway. We'll see.
And I think no one got like Mega Man Electric this season. So.
Although I'm interested, I do wonder, as the former behind the scenes mastermind of the no prep, clear eyes, can't lose Dayton Dratinis, I wonder how many people are going to run Thunder against you literally every week because, in the rain, Thunder doesn't miss.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
And with all the electric type weaknesses, I'll be interested to check that out.
Steven, Steven, you have a real love for the Nidos.
Nidos?
Nido King and Nido
always
Queen.
gets them.
Always.
Every single year.
I forget, someone else got Nido Queen this time, but you picked up Nido King this time. I think Nido Queen was at one point last season leading the league in kills, but I'm not sure about that.
Like the first 2 or 3 weeks.
It was.
It's
yes,
Slade.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, Nido Queen was doing extremely well for you.
Yeah, I think it always works out that I want Nido King, but then it gets taken too fast, so I go for Queen.
I see.
But this year I decided to take it because I like it a lot, and it has they both have incredible coverage plus stealth rocks.
Yeah, very good coverage.
Poison just very nice to have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Stephen,
a versatility score of 2.5 out of 2.5 certainly.
Stephen, you're notorious for your prep, right? Like you
God.
In terms of battles in drafting, did you have a draft board or did you just wing it?
I mean, half and half basically. I had 4 central Pokemon that I really wanted, and I was like, okay, I'll get those, and I'll figure out the rest. But then I didn't really have a backup plan per se. I just wanted a Tapu, and then I wanted Celesteela. I wanted really bad, and a Weavile. But then basically, I originally wanted Tapu Lele, Celesteela, Weavile, and Mega Heracross, and I'd rounded out everywhere else. But I had to improvise on the spot, and that's where the rain came from. Basically,
I think you did a really nice job pivoting. The whole rain setting team is a little bit scary in a format like this where everyone gets to sort of customize their team each week. Mm-hmm. But I think it was really neat how after I took Mega Heracross, you were able to sort of make something that still fit together really nicely with Tornadus T in there with those 100 accuracy hurricanes and all that rain. I think that's gonna be scary to deal with.
Yeah,
and you're in my division, so
we'll see. It definitely looks like teams in the past have been a lot more slow-paced or a little more... Well, not so much more. My last season's team was pretty slow-paced, but this one's very much going to be hit hard and hit fast. So we'll see how that works out.
Last year, I think I think it would be somewhat fair to say that your team centered around Clefable almost.
Clefable, Charizard, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
basically,
Mega Charizard X.
Basically set up sweepers. It was kind of balanced to let them set up.
All right, Nihal, coach of what's your team name, and tell us what Pokemon you have.
My team name is Columbus.
Oh,
Shrew.
how could I forget?
Yeah, Columbus Shrew PC. So I drafted Tapu Lele first. I'm surprised it actually fell to number 7, to be honest.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I drafted Mega Medicham, Alolan Muck, Darmanitan, Shaman, Skarmory, Vaporeon, Heliolisk, Garchomp, Arcanine, and Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah. Right off the bat, I just wanted to say I didn't even think about it, but the Lele Medicham combo is pretty nice.
Yeah, I was really excited about that. Obviously, a fast ghost type can hurt me, but there aren't too many of those, to be honest, in the league. So I think that 50% psychic boost is really good. And also, Tapu Lele's psychic terrain prevents priority, so Shadow Sneak isn't a problem.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty big, so especially for, I would also say, the one thing I'm looking at your team, you're pretty much average or in speed, I guess, because I think the fastest thing you have is Heliolisk. That's 111 or something. So you'll be a bit slower, but...
Yeah, I think Heliolisk, Garchomp is decently fast, and I think Alolan Ninetales has 109 speed. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and... Alolan Ninetales, I think, is really interesting. I really like Aurora Veil as a move.
God, it's such a funky...
And I just think it could be... it can be really beneficial, obviously, to get that 50% boost in defense and special defense. And then also, it's a weather setter, so, maybe against you, I have I have something to set weather. Other than that, though, a lot of Pokemon I've had before... Heliolisk, Skarmory, Darmanitan, Shaman, and Mega Medicham.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience.
I was as surprised as you were that Vaporeon was an NU pick.
Yeah. So there are a lot of good bulky water Pokemons.
Yeah, I saw
Pokemon. But Milotic is still, Milotic and Tapu Fini weren't drafted. Neither was Primarina.
Yeah, Primarina either.
And so, there's a lot of those types of Pokemon out there.
And the NU tier, like, obvious. It's obvious because it's the lowest one, but like it is by far the most diverse in terms of like having a lot of pretty good Pokemon in it, but also really bad ones. The range of quality there is insane.
Yeah, our NU tier is NU and PU combined, so that's
right,
what that list is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those totally unfamiliar with it, we have like this complicated draft system with points. It's not too complicated, but basically NU and PU get squished into one tier, and different tiers of Pokemon are worth a certain number of points, and you have to have at least one from each tier, but you can't exceed a certain total number of points.
Yeah. Right.
So you can't just load up on a bunch of OUs and then one from each other tier.
Also, Nihal, I was definitely checking earlier, and we're missing another Pokemon. I didn't see Porygon Z listed on anywhere in there, and I'm pretty sure it's BL. This tier or this.
Okay.
Well, it's not in the league, so that's okay.
Porygon Z.
You know who else? You know who else didn't make it into the league that I was surprised about is Bisharp.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised about that.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to take him, but I already got Weavile, so.
Yeah.
Real quickly, though, I apologize for the Pokemon I missed, but it was really hard to type out every single Pokemon in alphabetical order.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, no,
it was a pain in the ass.
That's totally fine. You guys really crapped out this tier system really quickly for this generation that I know nothing about.
We pretty much just recycled the old one and looked at OU.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't tell him.
Talk about Darmanitan, because you really like Darmanitan.
I really do like Darmanitan. Obviously, Sheer Force is a great ability. It's a little on the slow side. It can be outsped by a lot of good Scarfers, but it can hit really hard with Flare Blitz. It also gets coverage like Rock Slide, Superpower, Earthquake, and then it obviously has Switch Initiative with U-Turn too. So I think it's a really good pivot mon, a really good lead as well. And I think a fire type that often goes overlooked, at least in my opinion, and something in a it hits so freaking hard with that sheer force, and most Pokemon can't really deal with it. A lot of Pokemon can't deal with it. So
now I know it's never good, but when you draft Darmanitan, do you also get his other form?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Question.
Yes, I believe I do get Zed mode.
Cool. I want to see that this season.
Oh my god.
We'll see.
Basically unstoppable.
If I'm doing really well at the end, then I don't need to really play, or if I'm just out of the playoffs, I'll bring out my Zed mode.
Well, the thing that sucks about that is
Darmanitan.
You can't do Citrus Bear or anything, because if your HP goes above 50 afterwards, you go back into regular mode. It's so dumb.
Exactly.
This is just the worst.
It gets Calm Mind though, I believe. So who knows?
I know.
Who knows?
I know.
So Nihal,
Yes.
have you had Garchomp before? Is that right?
I haven't had Garchomp. No.
What made you pick that?
Well, I was deciding between Garchomp and Zygarde.
Okay, yeah, it's probably something Zygarde out there.
Yeah.
No Zygardes in the
Right,
league. No,
right.
no 150 or 10.
Right, I just think Garchomp is more versatile than Zygarde. Obviously, Zygarde's really good in this meta with 1,000 Arrows. It can hit Flying-type Pokemon with a really powerful Ground-type Stam move. And it also can set up with Dragon Dance. But I kind of wanted another Rock Setter besides Skarmory. And then I wanted something else that I could Scarf. And Garchomp is just a consistent performer in any draft, in any format, really. So that's why I chose that. I also didn't have a Dragon-type. And I only had one Ice-type weakness, so, yeah.
I didn't have a Dragon type until my last pick.
Yeah, but I was interested to see with Zygarde especially, because I know he was pretty big in this meta. I wonder if a group of people who are more maybe into the 7th gen meta might have picked him up quicker. Just because, I feel like there was a pretty conservative trend towards things that were very good last generation.
Yeah, I think none of us is super familiar with the Gen 7
Yeah,
meta.
we kind of built the draft around that, the fact that we rank stuff according to how they were used last season and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting that you bring that up because I mean I think in OU right now Zygarde is so important because of a Pokemon like Celesteela. It can hit it with 1,000 arrows.
Yeah.
I think in a league format like this though, Garchomp, like I said, is so much more versatile that overall I think it's a better Pokemon. But we'll see if someone picks up Zygarde. I think they could do work with it.
And that's the thing, especially in like this format, because you can kind of see like things that are versatile that can play like multiple different roles are like significantly more valuable than they might otherwise be, because it's so much more difficult to predict exactly what they're going to do when you know that they're probably going to be on the team.
Exactly.
Yeah, and something like Garchomp that can do a bunch of roles like well is the important part.
Yeah.
Right.
Last thing here I saw, I was real quick. I just noticed. I think you have the most Alolan forms. I think of everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Alolan Muck is really big in VGC. It's also just it's a very good Pokemon. Poison Dark type is a great typing, especially with Lele and Medicham. It resists Dark and it resists Poison and Ghost, which are the weaknesses there. So I mean that was my main rationale for picking that.
Not a lot of Alola forms in general going around.
No,
No.
Is it because they're not good?
they're not great.
Actually, did Alolan Marowak go?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Wow.
I think it's too expensive, maybe.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like it's they got a lot going for it, but it's just like.
Don't get me wrong, I'm happy about it. I mean, Tapu Koko has a lot more free reign. But...
That's true.
Steven.
All right, Matt, tell
That's
us about your Cleveland Escavaliers.
All right, so I'm Matt. Yes, coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, reigning nickname king. I'm pretty sure.
All right, get on with it.
So,
but yeah,
I got Magearna, Hoopa Unbound, Zapdos, then Mega Pinsir, regular Swampert, then Victini, Amoonguss, Mienshao, Umbreon, Porygon 2, and then Braviary. So I was really happy to get Mienshao back because that's the one that I had. I had that last year, and Braviary I couldn't fit Staraptor in with all the point spread. I was a little disappointed, so I kind of picked Braviary as kind of like a poor man's Staraptor because it's like Staraptor but slower and not as good. Which is a little annoying because I used to run a lot. Because you can kind of choice both of those things because they have solid coverage on their movesets and they both have U-turn, which can just really mess with people.
Oh, fucking U-turn.
Yeah, U-turn is kind of my thing.
For those who don't know, Matt jerks off to U-turn.
I do a little bit, like only occasionally, and when I run out of inspiration. No, but I have kind of, I don't know, I have a lot of different funky ways of playing. A lot of my teams that I build for other things on Smogon tend to have like some funky stall things going on and things like that. Last year I ended up with like a very chip damagey team, and then a bunch of just everything had U-turn. Like everything just pivoted upon pivoting, and it didn't seem like much because not all of them were, it wasn't like stab U-turn on a lot of stuff. But then, like, I also had Sandstorm, and then you just realize that you were just dying every time you switch something in, which was great for me. It didn't work, obviously, against Steven, because it's Steven.
I really liked your team last year. That was really cool. Volcanion,
it was fun to play, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed playing that team a lot more than I expected. But, I mean, I kind of have some of the... I mean, I kept, like, the whole, like, the Mienshao and the Braviary. And then Victini obviously has U-turn.
Yeah, I think you got at least four there that can have U-turn or Volt Switch, and you got like Magearna, Hoopa U, Pinsir, like a bunch of like really heavy hitters to bring in afterwards. So it's a pretty scary team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one thing I never had. Like I had Volcanion last time, which I don't think Volcanion went. But I think that I lacked, like, because I've always done like this chip damage. I've always like lacked this like hard, like a couple of hard hitters. Like just that hit like even unboosted or just with Life Orb, just killing things flat out. And I don't know, I just decided to go with that. I looked up, really my only prep that I did was like I looked at a couple like big name draft leagues and kind of saw like what was going first and what was doing well. And Magearna was up there in every single one. And I've never actually played with Magearna because I stopped playing before it came out.
I know nothing about Magearna.
You should be afraid of it. You should be afraid of it.
Good. It's
I
good.
looked at the viability rankings, and it's in the S tier with
Landorus,
the Pokemon that I drafted.
Landorus.
What's it called?
Landorus.
Landorus T.
Landorus T. Yeah. Lando T. Lando Calrissian.
Yes.
So the nickname game already, but yeah. So what's Magearna all about? Because I don't know anything about it.
So it's pretty much it can do mostly the big thing it does is it's a really good special sweeper, and so it has it can do shift gear as a steel type, which
that's cool.
Throws its speed way up there, and then it also has Soul Heart, its ability, which gives it +1 special attack when another Pokemon faints. Which is always good.
Oh, when another Pokemon, including because I think I saw a preview about that, and they showed it as something for doubles, like when your ally faints.
It's like Moxie, basically.
Goes up,
it doesn't matter what it is.
All right,
it's Moxie, but for special attack.
Basically,
that's pretty sweet.
And it just has, it has a solid, and Steel Fairy obviously is just a great typing.
Yeah,
that is good typing.
Right. I don't know if you mentioned. Did you mention Flirt Cannon?
Yeah,
which is basically Draco.
Flirt Cannon. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just has so much coverage as well. It's a great Pokemon, and it basically has Beast Boost. As you said, so that's a scary mon.
Yeah, and then it can also it has solid bulk. It has 80, 115, 115 for its bulk, which is not bad for something that's basically a sweeper. Obviously
with Magearna and Hoopa and Victini and Mienshao, it's just some scary big hits.
Magearna is actually one of the reasons why Baton Pass got a blanket ban in OU.
Yeah, because of shift gear.
I think the blanket ban is passed on down. Baton Pass is just flat out banned in so many things. It's just became so obnoxious.
Yeah.
We
got stuff like Zygarde and stuff like that.
That's why we didn't see any Scolipede.
Thank God. Bless up.
Here's my eyes.
Scolipede, aka what was it? Was it Sahil that just kept trying to do stuff with?
That was me.
That was me.
Sahil kept trying so hard to make trades work. So hard.
Scolipede's a beast, man.
Did anyone in IPL ever try to do a Ninjask thing?
Oh my God! Fucking.
I think I drafted it and then immediately dropped it after the draft.
All I know is that I think Nihal brought Go-Go against me.
Sahil
brought Go-Go.
We are two different people, okay?
Could have fooled me, Nihal.
Sure.
Never seen the two of you in the same room together. Because I've never met Sahil.
I've also never seen the second person ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, but one of the things with Magearna, and something that we actually we have yet to discuss at all, is Z moves.
That's true.
And that's really going to be interesting, just because draft leagues like this are so matchup dependent. They're going to bring this, so you have to bring this to plan for it. And just I feel we did it a couple times, something similar, but much less effective with different. Funky berries and natural gift, just kind of luring stuff in. But obviously with the Z moves, there's a lot more you can do with that. So that'll be interesting to see how that starts off.
Yeah, we had no restrictions at all on Z moves for this draft.
Right. So the GBA, which is probably the biggest draft battle league out there, they have a designated Z move Pokemon. And that Pokemon, you don't have to use a Z move, you don't have to attach a Z crystal to it, but it makes it a lot more predictable than this. And like you said, Matt, in such a matchup dependent league, it's going to be interesting. If you have a move like Grass Knot, you can stick Grassium Z on it and potentially take out Steven Swampert.
Dreams.
I think it would be interesting. I think it would be interesting to since there are just 8 of us, to have it so after everyone drafts all their Pokemon, we each draft 2 Z stones.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Good lord. That's I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be.
I think
just because I think just some types, especially with coverage. I don't know.
Yeah, and Z moves are already they're a risk to take in the first place because that's your item slot, and if you burn it on a protect turn or on a switch, that kind of stuff. I think it makes it totally fair.
Yeah.
And it'll make it more fun.
And also, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting just as far as how stall works or any kind of delay team. Just because if you know, like, for example, Steven has Celesteela, that he's going to bring that, you're going to throw some Z move on there that might be able to one-shot it from a Pokemon that might never be able to one-shot this thing with this, except with this obscure Z move. And I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out for less aggressive teams and compositions.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking. I'm just looking here, and like I'm looking at Matt's team, and then I guess we can get to like the Weaviles later, and then also I'm looking at where is it? We just talked about Nihal's team, and they're all kind of like bulky things mixed in with especially Matt's. I would say is a lot of bulk mixed in with a lot of bruisers, and then a couple like switchers in between. So there's not. I don't think anyone's really dedicated stall. I mean, Modine's
dedicated stall is dedicated stall. Like I tried it a little bit in like the season 2 that I played in, and it's really difficult to pull off, honestly. Like just because like so many stall teams are built like this will cover, like you have to build stall teams to like kind of cover everything, and there's just it's so easy to kind of like break matchups when you know what's coming. Because a lot of
I think the closest thing we have to that is the Weaviles.
Yeah, and again, the Weaviles team. I guess I shouldn't talk too much about it, but it looks a lot like Mayo's team from last year. It's a lot of like things like what's it called, Chansey, the last season, Chansey, Gliscor, Almola, stuff that can take a lot of hits, and then like that's to wear down until they can bring in Mawile and stuff like that and Greninja to punish.
Matt, I'm excited to see Mega Pinsir.
Dude, I love Mega Pinsir.
That'll be the first time. That's scary. That's really scary.
It's like just a horrifying. Like it looks horrifying. Like just like its actual appearance, it is horrifying. I just enjoy like things like that. Like Hoopa was like for a while was like that was my when Hoopa was legal back in Gen 6. That was like the best team that I had.
Something great about Mega Pinsir in this meta, and something we haven't discussed yet, is that Megas gain their speed on the turn they Mega Evolve.
Yes.
So Pinsir immediately goes up to that 105 speed.
And the same thing applies to Swim for Swampert.
Well, yeah, you're right. Jesus.
Shit.
Wow. Yeah.
Crap.
That's a big change.
Yeah.
It is.
Jared, what was your draft experience like?
Oh, good Lord. Basically, I did my prep all today, and basically my prep involved going, that's not a real word, and that is not a real Pokemon, and then looking up and finding out that it is, and that's what Gen 7 is. And
I did that with a couple of things I ended up picking, actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
actually,
I looked at, all the top
Jared, you haven't played Sun Moon yet, have you?
Nope, not a minute.
LOL.
I have not touched the game.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how Z-moves work. I just figured out
Are you going to pick up Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon?
Don't say those words, but yes. But yes.
Jared's not doing a thing let's be realistic here. Jared's not doing a thing until the Overwatch servers crash.
It's true. It's true. I'm kind of in a rut, and Overwatch is taking over my life. But that's not a part of this.
My computer has become too bad to play Overwatch, and it's kind of liberating.
It's kind of beautiful.
So you start with Heatran, right?
Yeah, so anyway, as far as my draft goes, so I actually drafted a lot of things from my first ever team, or at least 4 bad boys that I love very much. Heatran, Latios, Mega Aerodactyl, and Bronzong, who are all
Excuse me, did you just do a stopped T on Heatran?
It scares me. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, some people do that.
I've heard both. Okay.
I think they say like that in France. I don't know.
It's like gyro, I eat gyros, you eat euros. We're all the same, though.
I think it's just euro. I think euro is the one that works there.
You're
No,
definitely
you're wrong.
correct.
No.
Gyro is a thing you spin on tables.
Jared, you're so white.
Anyway, so then, so I went with, basically what I did was I went with Heatran, and then I read the Smogon page between the picks, and it said, Heatran pairs well with Tapu Bulu, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds good. So
that sounds like what I did.
Then I picked that, and then I read Tapu Bulu's Smogon page, and it said Tapu Bulu pairs well with Latios, and I was like, good plan. So I picked that. And then pretty much after that, I was going for type coverage and knowing that I needed things to make sure I wasn't weak to one specific type. So then I got Crawdaunt, Galvantula, Suicune, because I got my ass kicked by Suicune a season ago, Thundurus T, Nidoqueen, and Whimsicott, who was a surprise, and you that I was excited about, even though I'm probably not going to use them at all.
Yeah, and beyond the typing synergy that Tapu Bulu and Heatran have, if Heatran's on the ground, it gains HP after every turn through that grassy terrain, which is really nice. And the biggest thing is Earthquake is weakened in the grassy terrain, and all of that adds to Heatran's longevity.
There's a lot of synergy there for sure.
One observation just about the league overall is that in a kind of unprecedented way, no one except for one person arguably has their team mascot on their team, and that is the Golden State Wartortles with Mega Blastoise.
At a surprise, second pick for them?
First pick.
Yeah.
First pick Mega Blastoise.
Wow.
Interesting.
Which, that's a decision.
Right.
That is a decision.
Something. We'll see.
But sorry, back to your team, Jared. Jared, you got Nidoqueen.
I did. I'm the queen to Steven's king.
Right.
And I'm
and
excited about
your Mega is...
It's horrible.
My Mega is Mega Aerodactyl, because he's fast and strong, unlike me. And and
you're slow and weak.
That's perfect descriptors. So basically, I'm looking at a team that I kind of almost know how it works, except for Tapu Bulu, who is the X factor that may or may not work for me, because I might be bad at this game, and I don't know yet.
So how'd you pick Thundurus T?
Thundurus T was kind of something where I had picked Crawdaunt and Suicune, and I was suspecting that my Mega was going to be Mega Aerodactyl, and I was looking at a lot of electric weaknesses. And
so you got that Volt Absorb now,
right? I liked the Volt Absorb. I also liked the Flying type, which up to that point I didn't have a Flying type on my team, and so he's kind of a little different than anything I've ever played with, and I don't really know exactly how he's going to fit in, but I think it's going to be a good switch for a lot of things that people might try to bring against things like Heatran and Suicune.
I'm looking at just because I know Jared and Steven always have interesting games. Because a lot of obviously a lot of people are going to have to bring electric types against Steven, and I'm kind of wondering are they going to run Thunder in expectations that Steven's going to run his Rain Setters, or are they just going to run Thunderbolt? And I kind of want to see if someone starts playing mind games with it, because I always enjoy watching Thunder miss, because it always makes people so mad.
Although without Rain, Steven's team is a lot different. So
yeah.
And it'll still function out of Rain, but...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is a lot different. I will see. I'm probably going to make some draft changes and stuff or free agent exchanges in the next couple of days, but...
Yeah.
We'll see.
In case anyone hasn't noticed, the common thread in a lot of the things that I do is just in general around the league, just tend to make people, angry in various ways. I do dumb stuff and make nicknames and trash talk a lot more than is necessary for a Pokemon league.
We already have. Is it me and Jared and Steven and one other person who's in the one division?
Yeah.
Oh, dear God, yeah.
Okay, so Matt, you're in the other division this time, but I do want you to know, Matt, that I have already set up a Facebook thread between me and Jared and Steven that's just for trash talk.
Nice.
That's important. Getting it on.
There will be a weekly trash talk thread in the Facebook group.
Thank God.
Excellent.
Because I'm just I've already gotten some good groundwork, but I've just been dogging on Sahil.
I mean, look, all I know is that I watched Richie systematically pick Pokemon to counter my team that I had picked moments before him.
I mean, I did the I'd argue that I did not do that when you picked Mega Aerodactyl, and I went ahead and picked Mandibuzz anyway. but I did pick Registeel the next time for that.
Well, you know, you guys have 2 games against each other, and they are divisional games.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, like that's what I was thinking. I was looking at the teams that were in my division. So Jared and Steven are both in my division. So Steven's is why I picked up an extra grass type at the end, and Jared's is why I was kind of focusing on like his picks were always right next to mine. So it was easy to react.
Yeah, and then you swiped Alolan Executor just right out from under me.
The best
right
Pokemon
out
in the
from
game,
under me.
by far. On the
Such
last
a glorious. I don't understand it at all. Like, nothing about that Pokemon makes sense, and it's incredible.
Which
he's
maybe
tall.
Yeah, he's a tall boy, and maybe that's a good segue to talk about Richie's team.
Matt, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Alolan Executor, which is the last Pokemon on my team.
I'm saying there's nothing wrong. There's so many things going on there.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's perfect.
It's strongest, greatest dragon in the game.
So I had a very similar draft method to what Jared was talking about. The first Pokemon I picked was the highest Pokemon still available in like the Smogon viability thread. There are only 2 Pokemon in the S tier, and since Magirno was picked, I picked Landorus Therian, which I've never like used it, but I've seen it a lot. I know that I'm gonna have to look out for like Hidden Power Ice bullshit.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are gonna be running that.
From there, I did just like I looked at the team options for each Pokemon, and if I found like intersections or whatever, I would pick that. So under Landorus Therian, it said that a good complement to Landorus T was Ash Greninja, and I figured I'd try something new and fun, so I picked up Ash Greninja, which I don't really know anything about, but the impression I get is basically, unlike a Protean Greninja, it is just water and dark, but once it kills something, it turns into Ash Greninja. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It gets way faster and way stronger.
Way faster, way stronger. So hopefully I'll be able to get that to pop off a couple times. And then the reason I picked Mega Heracross was because it is a second tier Mega, so it was fewer points to get it, but it was in the A rank in that viability thread.
Yeah, that was a good price.
So it was a good price. So then I started building off of that. Rotom W was sort of for coverage, but also I wanted something a little bulky at that point. And it said that was a good complement to Mega Heracross. Jirachi similarly. And at that point, I think a couple things on my team said that Superior would be a good pick. So I'll just read the rest of it off now. So Jirachi Superior, Talonflame, Mandibuzz, Registeel, Silvally, Alolan Executor. Mandibuzz and Registeel were both on Mayo's team last season, and they were a lot of trouble. So
right now you have... Oh, wait, never mind. You have Mandibuzz. I was going to say you don't have a way of getting rid of rocks, but you do. Never mind.
Yeah, Talonflame is obviously in a bit of trouble this generation.
Yeah, I wanted to hear why you picked
because
that.
of their... Well, I picked it because I wanted some fire type coverage, and I didn't have a lot of points left. So
yeah, you really went in the first couple rounds. Like everyone had kind of like dropped into like the BL and maybe the UU tier picks, and Richie was still like going like balls to the wall with his like top tier picks.
Yeah,
he clearly, he fit it all in, but it was just an interesting method.
So I literally had a spreadsheet with the. Like, I basically picked my tiers before I picked Pokemon, and I followed it exactly, and it was in descending order. And what's good about that is, obviously, like, you get first dibs on the higher tiers, but what's bad about that is it's harder to counterpick, later down the line when someone in your division picks something super good, and you have to answer it with, Alolan Executor instead of like a
the
good grass type
counter.
Pokemon. But yeah, I did extremely little prep for this draft, but I'm interested to. I'll probably play in OU on Pokemon Showdown some this week just to see how and if this team works. See what kind of coverage I need because I got Silvally as a kind of catch-all. But yeah,
If I'm being honest, looking at your team right now, I think yours is probably one of the best drafts.
I
looking at the first
usually,
6 or
for,
7.
like, for how little I know and prepare, I usually do a pretty decent job at drafting.
Yep, for sure.
One thing that surprised me is that no one picked up Toxapex,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Thought about him.
which is just he's just. I mean, because I play a stall team in OU because I'm just the worst person. But Toxapex is awful to deal with.
Yeah,
Like-
Toxapex also, I mean, no Ultra Beasts except for Celesteela.
Really?
That was
Yeah.
also something that surprised me.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
true.
crazy. Okay, I want to discuss something that I definitely saw in UU that was Xurkitree.
Xurkitree,
Yeah,
I
Xurkitree,
know.
yes.
I
And
wanted
I'm
Xurkitree.
I thought
So
about taking it.
Jared is looking at these Pokemon for the first time.
Yeah.
yes, but no, wait. Are you sure the only set that they had for it was Ubers, and I got
No,
scared.
It's you.
So
It's you.
Oh yeah, it's
That's-
definitely UU.
Oh, it's
Oh, that's
great. It's
horrifying.
awesome. Have you seen the special
gosh.
attack stat?
yeah, what 183,
Yeah.
173.
173.
And he gets
Sorry.
Tail Glow, which is ludicrous.
The Ultra
Yeah.
Beasts are so fucking insane.
Yeah.
That part of that game, that part of Sun and Moon was so weird.
Yeah.
Just like the tone of it was so different from other
that was
things in
weird.
Pokemon games. It was good. The games were good, but it was just a weird section, and how like there were 4 of one of them.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing.
Honestly, I thought they would be more involved in the story based on the previews of the game, but I don't know. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, maybe. I mean, it seems like they'll be more part of the story, but yeah.
I'll tell you,
Go ahead.
my favorite like moment playing Sun and Moon was I forget Nihilego,
Lego, whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, that Pokemon. I didn't spoil myself on anything for Sun and Moon. I didn't look up where any Pokemon were. My brother and I did this thing where we tried to complete the regional Pokedex without looking anything up.
Horrifying.
And I ran into Nihilego totally at random, never having heard about it or seen it before. And just like the adrenaline rush of like catching that. I was like only sort of prepared to catch it, and it was it took me back to when I was like a kid playing Pokemon, when I didn't think to like look things up about it. Just the pure mystery of that moment was incredible.
Yeah, that's how that's how Alolan Geodude was for me.
The rush.
Just the magic, the magic of the moment.
thrill.
Right.
Well, I was getting so sad because they had released all the Alolan Pokemon, I thought, and then all of a sudden this Geodude pops up.
I had a Fu
And he's
Manchu.
got, like,
New
a thing
hope
on his-
kindled in your breast.
And that was the last one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Going back to Jared and this Xurkitree thing, like I was looking at that Uber set and is talking about how it's like you have to play fast and loose. Like if you give it Z Hypnosis, holy dear God.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Z Hypnosis, because you get +1 speed. If it hits, you put him to sleep, and then you have a free turn to Tail Glow, which
Yeah.
is just like
That's
35
insane.
kinds of horrifying.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like with stuff like
Z
that.
Hypnosis
yeah.
has priority.
No,
No, it doesn't have priority, but like
it like
if
never
you,
hits.
If you
but...
use it as your Z move, yeah, I mean it's like 60% accuracy. But if you hit if you hit with it, you always get the +1 speed after
Yeah,
once
I
you
see.
use
yeah,
it.
regardless.
But if
I
it hits,
see.
then you're basically fucked.
Wow.
So that'll
yeah.
be terrifying.
Yeah, I really want to get that.
But
thing,
yeah,
Tapu
my
Koko
team,
teams do.
I don't know how it all is going to come together.
I think Richie, I'm telling you right now, you have a really, really strong team. Just looking at it,
Yeah,
you have a lot.
I need to do some experimenting.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Should we talk about the other teams?
Yeah, let's
The
do
other
it.
3 teams?
Sure. So there are 8 total
yeah.
people in the league, and 5 of them are here. But
Should we
the
talk about the
others,
commish first?
Sure. Our commissioner is Sahil of the Milwaukee Mewers. What Pokemon did he get?
He somehow got Mew again.
Yeah, so so for some reason he and Dinesh, the coach of the Golden State Wortortles, did a pre-draft trade in which they swapped a couple of picks.
God,
So Sahil was able to move up to the second pick and get
Yeah.
Mega Venusaur. He followed that with Mew, Hydreigon, Azumarill, Infernape, Hippowdon, Jolteon, Clefable, Staraptor, Doublade, and Scrafty. So, no Pokemon past Gen 6, interestingly. I guess Mega Venusaur. Oh, Doublade. Yeah. But
that's Gen 6.
Yeah, exactly. Pokemon he's familiar with.
It's a very slow team, but I think it...
Was he in danger of not getting Mega Venusaur had he not made that trade?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't
Out of
think...
curiosity?
Yeah.
I think he did it to get...
I think he wanted the wheel picks.
I don't really know what the rationale was. I think more so than anything, Dinesh wanted to move down because he's new to the league.
That's fair.
Okay.
So, and Mega Venusaur historically has been a high pick. I don't know how viable it is in this meta.
I
especially...
don't think it's really performed in our league, as far as I know. I don't remember it ever really being a problem if it was on an opposing team.
It's just hard as hell to kill or to
Yeah.
feed. Like, I mean, there's not much Psychic or Flying Stab in the game, which are its only two weaknesses. But with Z moves, it completely changes, the entire thing. So, overall, an interesting team, though. I like you said, really slow. I mean, he has Jolteon and Infernape and Staraptor, I guess.
Yeah.
This team reminds me very slightly. It has a slight flavor of Matt's team from last year with Staraptor and Hippowdon.
A little bit, yeah, I can see that.
Staraptor's a really nice U-turn Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sahil...
I mean, as far as I can tell, it seems like a team with not too many common weaknesses.
Yeah, it seems pretty balanced, kind of passive. It has a few kind of threats, but for the most part, it's going to be wearing down until...
Right, and Sahil's an aggressive player, so it'll be interesting to see how he sort of reconciles that.
Yeah, I mean, Azumarill has, some potential, I would say, as an aggressive threat.
Naturally.
Z Belly Drum? Doesn't Z Belly Drum... Doesn't that restore your health?
I think so.
Which is just
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It does. It restores your health. No, I think it does it beforehand, though. Hold on, let me check.
Oh, I see.
But,
Yeah, I think
he'll have to...
Oh, it restores all of the HP before Belly Drum's HP deduction takes effect.
So you're automatically at half health once you use it. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's there if you have taken damage and
right.
want to get
so
your
if
belly
someone if you do the calcs and they can hit you for 75% or whatever, that usually destroys the possibility of doing like a citrus berry belly drum.
Right.
But if you do Z belly drum, you're at exactly 50% no matter what.
Right.
And then you can just Aqua Jet until they die.
I mean, but other than that, and Azumarill's kind of rough in this new meta. There's a lot of electric and a lot of grass. But he's kind of going to have to leverage some lower tier threats to be his sweepers with Hydreigon and Infernape and Jolteon, Staraptor.
Sahil does seem to have attachments to his low tiers. He always seems to regardless of how successful he is or not successful, he just loves to try and integrate all the low tiers that he has.
Yeah, and I don't know how he's going to play it. But to me, at least, I see him winning most of these games.
Something not to overlook is we talked a little bit about Sahil's head Mew before, and he's really comfortable with that Pokemon, and he also does really well with it. I mean, he creates a lot of cool sets that actually end up working, unless he gets crit.
Right.
But
I'm remembering a moment with Mew involving counter and Cloyster
My favorite.
and Icicle Spear.
That was one of the things that did not work.
They can't all be great
Yes.
sets. Yeah.
It's my favorite thing because that entire game. I remember
Matt, that was you, right?
Yeah, that was me.
That
And I
entire
just remember-
6-turn game.
Yeah, because
or
I
whatever
was
it was.
figuring I was just
8
gonna
turns.
kill Mew. Just gonna kill Mew with Cloyster, and it would be okay with being burned. And he just didn't burn my Cloyster. That was at +2 the entire time. And I just remember messaging Steven, I was like, dude, I have a 30% chance to get one crit on this next move against Umbreon or whatever.
Yeah.
If I get this, then it's a sweep.
Game over.
And then I got it, and I was like, okay, this is GG's, everybody.
Yeah, I think he thought countered all 5.
All the damage from all
Which is
5.
the funny thing was that wouldn't have worked because it was focus sashed. I remember.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have worked anyways.
Right, yeah. I think he, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he had priority anywhere, but still, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, should we move on to the Golden State Wartortles?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So these are the newcomers, right?
Yeah, so...
Yes.
So
first pick Mega Blastoise is
yeah,
the Golden State
funny
Wartortle.
story. Dinesh is a family friend of ours. He hasn't played competitive Pokemon in, 2.5 years now? And the reason why he quit competitive Pokemon was because at the very beginning of the Gen 6 meta, I used to run this horrible. I mean, it was actually a good team, but this Scolipede Mega Metacham team, where I would Swords Dance.
The worst.
Yeah, Swords Dance, and then get 2 speed boosts off, and then Baton Pass into Mega Metacham with a little bit of bulk, and just sweep. I mean, just have Drain Punch and Psycho Cut and sweep everybody. And I 6-0'd him with that team, and he just quit Pokemon after that. So this is his return. This is his return.
So Nihal, you fucking killed him.
Seriously. It's back from the dead.
I brought him back, though. I brought him back with this opportunity. So
Benevolent God, you.
I know.
But yeah, so his team is Mega Blastoise, Ferrothorn, Crocodile, Terrakion, Tangrowth, Volcarona, Metagross, Kyurem Black, Articuno, Feraligatr, and Electros. A very 5th gen meta team.
And I will put a link to a read-only copy of these rosters in the description to this episode.
Perfect.
Props to him for taking away Tangrowth from Steven. Which I'm realizing now would be even more horrifying with his stupid rain team.
Yeah.
So that was good. But also, like, I mean, Tangrowth's just, like, a great pick. Like, the Regenerator and, like, you know, like, just very bulky and just very annoying to kill.
Yeah, it's got a lot going for it.
Right. I found it interesting that he took Ferrothorn and then Tangrowth and Metagross.
Yeah, that's true.
That is interesting.
But, you know, he has Blastoise, which has decent synergy with all those Pokemon. A lot of duplicate typing, though. So I think he's going to need to make some free agency changes. Like Kyurem Black and Articuno. I don't know about that.
Yeah, Articuno's an interesting pick, just in a lot of ways, especially because actually looking, he doesn't have a Hazard. No, I guess he has Mega Blastoise.
He has Articuno and Mega Blastoise, but like rocks are a big problem for him.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know what Pokemon I wish were better is Electros.
Dude, me too.
It
should be so cool.
It has great, typing and ability, so
right.
No weaknesses, and a great move pool, but just the stats are not good enough.
Right, and that's another Pokemon that could benefit from Z moves more so than others.
Yes, definitely. It could be just about any type of Z move, also.
Exactly. But yeah, interesting team. I'm curious to see how he does, especially in a tough division. Arguably our best battler in Steven and our reigning champion Jared, and
that's my division also, and I'm scared to be in it.
And the other guy.
I don't know. The way I'm looking at it, I'm thinking like you and Jared have probably the strongest teams in our division for sure. I think I should be the one to be scared right now, but we'll see.
The classic Steven underplay.
Yeah,
Steven's exactly.
Lowering expectations.
People say this so everyone
right.
League.
Okay, just for some background, in last season, in 10 matches, Steven was 9-1 with a +33 differential.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Well, Steven,
those were the days.
I think.
Man.
Yeah.
Steven and I think had Steven 6-0'd me, but it was like the longest.
Did I?
6-0.
I think he 6-0'd me too.
It was like the longest 6-0 that I've ever been a part of, but you were so just in control the whole time. I just felt like you were just like kind of smothering me.
I think that's what I do. I think all of those games, though, I think they've been helped out by a little bit of luck or a crit here or there, that kind of stuff. Like it never was.
Yeah, Jared, remember our first game ever where I don't know if it was I think it was our first game in season.
And you didn't know how Halucha worked?
What I'm thinking of is my Sableye crit on your Mega Alakazam.
Oh, that was rough.
Times.
That was so sad. Yeah. I was sure you weren't going to kill it, and then you did. But Steven, what was your highest ever rank in OU singles during Gen 6?
I think the best I ever had was like 1880. I think at one point.
Well, yeah, but didn't you
No,
actually
what was your
hit?
ranking like number? Like, weren't you top 100?
I
think you were top
I was
100.
top 50, top 80, something like that. I can't remember.
God
Yeah.
bless.
I mean,
So, yeah.
Some kind of context.
Yeah, Steven is a great battler, but, you know, like I said during the draft, you know, it's a completely new meta that none of us are really familiar with.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a different kind of team than Steven usually runs.
Yeah.
So, that being said, he'll probably be 8-2 and win the league.
Well,
All right. Let's touch on the Weaviles.
Yeah, let's please.
Since we're
let's
running
do
a
it.
little,
Yeah.
we're about an hour now.
Okay.
Jeez. So the Weaviles are our only international team from Israel. They drafted
What?
Mega.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they drafted Mega Mawile, Magnezone, Dugtrio, Greninja, Gliscor, Alomomola, Delmise, Tangela, Chansey, Salamence, and Ditto.
Tangela is the single weirdest pick in this whole draft.
You know,
It is definitely interesting. I mean, I like that he just had to ask, like, where is this? And we're like, what are you
why isn't it here? Why haven't you considered that I might draft Tangela? I don't understand.
Are you sure you didn't mean to put it in OUA?
Yeah, well, Tangela is interesting because it has 115 defense and 100 special attack. So, I mean, you stick an Eviolite on it, and it's decent.
Are you
it's
sure?
in a little.
Right.
Are you sure
it's in
that's
little
not?
cup
Are you sure that's not
and
Tangrowth?
regenerated.
Are you sure that's not Tangrowth?
Yeah.
I think
Little
Tangola's a
cup-
little
No,
bit weaker.
My God.
That's Tangela.
Oh, wow.
Those are Tangela
That's kind of
stats.
amazing.
And it has regenerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
little cup Ubers.
Surprise hit.
Yeah, I'm not
Big-
excited to play his team. I don't know. I mean, Mega Mawile obviously hits like a freaking truck. And then he's the trap queen. He's got the double trappers.
Yeah. So yeah, Mega
I'm not-
Mawile has never been in our league, I believe, because it's always
Yeah.
been
I mean,
in
it's
Right.
been banned.
It's been
Yes,
banned
exactly.
until now.
Exactly. So, you know, it's potentially a scary team, and we don't know how good of a battler they are.
He said the word support, so I think it's pretty good. We'll see.
This is
That's when you know.
go well.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Big props to Golf for staying up until 6 a.m. their time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
dear Lord.
7-hour time difference.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the kind of commitment we need in the IPL.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's good to see.
I'm just. All I know is that I have, luckily, if I end up, because, you know, starting medical school in a couple weeks here.
Yeah.
And I've told Alex, my brother Alex, that he's gotten, like, tentatively into, like, some competitive battling scene, but I'm like, Alex, you might have to take over the team if worse comes to worse. So I've got my backup plan
That's
already
true.
set.
Oh, it's something we didn't touch on, Matt, was your rebranding. New logo.
my new look is Cavaliers.
Now, you seem to have removed the S from the logo.
Shut up. All of you, shut up.
What's
Copyright.
the situation there? What's the situation vis-a-vis the S?
Vis-a-vis, all of you shut up, and I hate everyone. God damn.
All right. Well, so looking to future weeks, I think those episodes of this show are going to be a little more exciting because we'll actually be we'll be posting links to battle replays in the description, and we'll be talking through those. You know, on what turns did people make, what crazy called shots and switch predictions
How
and
many
all that.
times? How many times did Matt use U-turn today?
How many? Yeah, what percent of Matt's turns are U-turn? He seriously had a game last season where it was like 45% of his
It was
turns were
fantastic.
U-turn.
It was my favorite game.
Disgusting. But yeah, as far as closing words go, we hope that you enjoy Pokemon enough to get any enjoyment out of this show, because if you don't know your shit, this is going to be utterly just unentertaining. And thank you to Knower for the use of our theme song. I haven't decided which Knower song it's going to be yet, but they did give me blanket permission to use their stuff
Yes.
as
Let's go.
podcast intros and outros.
Excellent.
Jared, I won't do the government knows. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Damn it.
Damn it! I kind of wanted that one.
I know. I'm very upset.
I'll
pretty
do
upset,
something good.
He's the one who did the IPL Weekly, man.
Yes, yeah, the IPL Weekly.
Is this IPL Weekly
Yeah,
now?
this is IPL Weekly. This is IPL Weekly episode 2.
Cool. IPL Weekly signing off. See you next IPL Weekly.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Spam.